Once again, back y'all. You got a Cincy fan talking with LP, and of course, this is yours truly, LP. Yeah, it feels good to be back at it, y'all. The applause is great. Actually, it just make you feel so good. You gotta love it. I gotta start finding a way to like get manufactured applause to follow me everywhere I go. Like in that movie "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker." Like if you've never seen it, you gotta watch it. A black exploitation classic by Keenan Ivory Wayans and the boys, and he had a band with him. And they was like, "You got a band with you?" And he was like, "Yeah, man. Every good superhero should have one." I got to get a band to follow me. Like, I know it's weird. I haven't dropped something in like 3 weeks, and I'm coming back telling you I need to have a band follow me everywhere I go. But self confidence is key in life, y'all. Like, real talk. Like, the more self confident you are, not like, I don't think necessarily you got to be like super cocky, but I've never been like a cocky guy. But I've always had like, like an inner self confidence that make me feel like I could pretty much do whatever I feel like. It's like a low key kind of cockiness. Like I need a band to help me exude that kind of cockiness. Like somebody just follow me around and just like play some of my favorite hits to just make me feel like I could conquer the world. I'm gonna look into that. I wonder how much a band would cost to just follow me around on my day to day. Now, if you out there and you feel like you want to do that, like you want to get paid for that, you're not gonna follow me around too many places. Like you'll follow me around the work. You'll be following me around like while I'm teaching my classes, and the kids will be like, "Dude, why you got a band playing with you?" To which I reply, "Mind your business, do your math." Like you feel we got social studies to conquer, so you worry about that. You let me do my my self healing. Like, but it'd be cool. You wouldn't have to do much. Follow me to school, follow me home. You could play the music in the car instead of the radio. It'd be good. So if anybody want to apply, let me know. You can always hit me on Twitter, never X, but Twitter at a Cincy Fan Talking. Hold the G because you don't need it. A Cincy Fan Talking. You know, let me know how you feel about it. But enough of that. Hey, man, good to be back. Now, I gotta be honest with you. I just been lazy for the past couple of weeks. Had a couple of sound issues when I tried to record before, so I'm just gonna do it next week. Then I got tired. I'm like, I'll just do it next week. Then I'm like, man, I don't feel like going into the dungeon and recording, so I gotta do it next week. But for me, man, this is therapeutic, man. This is self healing, like real talk. Having a band playing with me would be self healing as well. But just being able to talk to y'all on a weekly basis, being able to talk, get my thoughts out there, and I have to worry about, I gotta let this person talk. I just kind of get my uninterrupted time, man. I feel like that's really good, and I know I got a couple people listening and following your boy, so I do it for y'all, man. I do it for me and I do it for y'all. So I really appreciate y'all sticking and staying. I know I got to be more consistent with this, but I'm not gonna stop. So work with me while I work to my consistency. That's a bar. I should be a rapper. We'll talk about the hip hop awards in a second too. BET let me down. Yes, truly. Real talk. We're gonna talk about what I've been watching. It's gonna be really weird what I've been watching, on my phone and streaming on my television. I've been really watching this, and I'm gonna let you know why. It's not a show, but I wouldn't even encourage you to watch this, but it helps me, and I'm gonna let you know why. Um, First, I got to talk about the fellas, man. I got to talk about my Buckeyes. I got to talk about my Bengals. If you've been following me on Twitter, never X, but Twitter, then I do something called a Tyler Fit record check, where my little like 13, 14-month-year-old running around here, we dress her in her Bengals gear every weekend. The wife is on me about taking pictures for y'all, so I got to do that. So we put her in her Bengals gear, and we put her in the best color that we think is going to get us a win, for the Bengals. And I've been keeping track of this, and she hasn't been doing well. Like it hasn't been going well. We put her in the orange, they take a L. We put her in the black, they take a L. We put her in the white, they take a L. Like it's wild out here. But we put her in the white the week before and they won. We put her in the black and they won. Now, in between, there was that game against Baltimore. We're not even going to talk about that. And apparently, orange never works. I don't know what that's about. But Tyler fit check aside, it's been really frustrating watching the Bengals, like for real. Now, you know how I do. Once the game is over, I got like that 5-10 minute period where I'm just like, dude, the Bengals on that mess. Then I'm like, what's for dinner? What we doing? Like, because it's a game. But two things have been frustrating me about the Bengals to no end. Number one, yo, this defense. And when I say the defense, I mean like, what's with the aggression or lack thereof? Like, it's so bothersome. Like when the wife is yelling at the TV, "Why are you in the zone? How come you can't get pressure on on the QB?" You know something up, man. Like if it wasn't for Trey Hendrickson, every now and again getting through and making a play, I'm like, where would we be at? Probably not even 2-4. And the thing is this, and I don't think people understand this about football. It's about the offensive and the defensive line. Everything starts from there. It's kind of like when you build a house, you start from the ground up. You start from the base. Whatever you do, you build a solid base. And once you get a solid base, then you can kind of build from there. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You start in your career, you building a house. It doesn't matter. You start from the base and you build your way up. You make sure you're protected, and then you kind of spread out. That's what the offensive and defensive lines are. Now, the Bengals have kind of shored up the O-line, but as far as the D-line is concerned, it's like, if you can't get pressure on the quarterback, that means that your secondary has to do a lot more work back there trying to stop a pass. And I don't know if y'all know this, but if you give a quarterback and a wide receiver a little bit too much time, they're going to get open. It don't matter how trash the QB is. It don't matter how trash the wide receiver is. You give them too much time, they're going to get open. And that's what's been happening with the Bengals. It's frustrating that we can see this just watching TV. And I'm not going to try to play the Bengals. I'm pretty sure they're trying to do their best to get there. They're not like, hey, just throw the ball over our heads, man. It's whatever. It's just frustrating to be able to predict what's going to happen every single week. And as a Bengals fan, you already, like if you a diehard true blue Bengals fan, been down since like, I don't know, 86, 87. Now I was a youngin' watching these games, but it's like you always waiting for the bottom to fall out. Like for real. And I feel like we're at that point in Bengaldom where you're kind of like, you know what, I trust the squad even though we're 2-4. And that's scary. Because the thing about trust is once it's gone, it's gone. Like it's a wrap. And I think with the Bengals, we're all like trying to go like, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're going to be okay. And then Bengals type stuff happens, scoring 33 points and losing the game. Bengals type stuff happens, like losing to the Patriots. Bengals type stuff happens. Like, I don't know, having a 10-point lead 3 separate times in the game and still taking the L. That's Bengal stuff, man. That's real life Bengaldom. It is. I'm entrenched in it. That's what it is. That's what it feels like. And then having to go to school and listen to these little teeny boppers who just became Kansas City Chiefs fans, I don't know, a year ago when Patrick Mahomes got super good. They don't know no better. Like, they youngins. Yeah, man, Kansas City always been my team. It's been my favorite team since I was little. You still little. You little now. What are you talking about, young sixth grader? You little. Man, I've been rocking with them. Come on, man. I got shoes older than you, my boy. It's, but the Bengals should end up being 5-4 by the time this whole thing over with. By the time they meet Baltimore, in week 10, they should be 5-4. Now, because I said that, they'll probably be 4-5. Some old BS might happen. You never know. But I feel confident about what's about to happen next. I really do. Um, and I definitely feel confident about the Buckeyes. And the Buckeyes took the first L. A couple of things people need to understand. I said it was two things about the Bengals, but I'm gonna let that. I'm just gonna go with that one. You know what I mean? Because the defense is really what's bothering me more than anything else. Um, the second thing really don't matter. So, as far as the Buckeyes go, people got to understand that, for one, Ryan Day is a very good coach. Yeah, he loses the big game, yada, yada, yada. But nobody wins the big game every single time. And Ryan Day, he is really good at pretty much winning all of his games. Like he is. I don't know what people gonna do if they let Ryan Day go and they get some dude that's an assistant coach for like UTEP, some like on the way guy. Like, no. Ryan Day is killing it. And quiet as kept, for real, Urban Meyer, as great as he was for Ohio State, he would always find a way to lose a game that he shouldn't lose. Always. Like, he was always taking the spill to Purdue. Really? You know what? I'm not going to lie. Losing to Purdue that one day, that one night when they had the guy that was kind of suffering from cancer and he was there. When Ohio State lost that game, I was like, yeah, it's cool. I really felt like it was cool. I was so happy for the Trent guy. Like, he was really riding for his squad. And Ohio State lost. I was like, dang, I know dude's super happy. So it was like they lost and I was salty, but I wasn't. The year they lost to Iowa, they got scraped. I'm like, really? The year they lost to Ohio, they lost to Michigan State, and they shouldn't have. It was always some weird loss. Even the year they lost, they won the whole thing when they won the championship. They lost to Virginia Tech that year, and we was all looking like they gonna be trash. And sure enough, they was like 6-6. Ryan Day is really doing this thing. The thing about it is he's losing to Michigan. If he was losing all of these other games and beating Michigan every year, we would have nothing to say because that's what happened with Urban Meyer. He would lose an inexplicable matchup with a great team, but he would find a way to beat Michigan every year, so we let that ride. And people got to understand, once Ryan Day jumps that hoop, once he gets over that and starts scraping Michigan every year, we won't care that he loses a top 5 matchup every now and again. This man has lost like 9 games. He has never lost to an unranked opponent. Relax, y'all. We will be fine. Now, that game against Oregon, hey, if you're an Oregon fan, shout out to y'all, man. Like, shout out to you. Your squad really did their thing. I'm not about to sit up here and complain about Dan Lanning using a penalty to his advantage with like 10 seconds left to run off the clock. That's just good coaching. It really is. He found a way to use a loophole and he figured out how to make it work for him. That's just called coaching. That's what that is. And I saw some people online like, how could he do that? Because he was smart enough to run that stuff in his head and go like, you know what if we did this with like 10 seconds left? All we get is a 5-yard penalty, but they lose time. Just don't let them score. That's just smart. It really is. I hope we play Oregon again because I feel like we can scrape Oregon for real. I just didn't expect them to be so aggressive. Like, they were so aggressive with the play calling. They're doing like little fake onside kicks. Like, they doing whatever it takes to win. It's hard to replicate that twice, especially when you know it's coming. Like, a lot of that stuff that happened, we're going to see it coming if we play them again. You're not going to get it twice. So it's really about the defense playing better. And I feel like the defense will play better. And I'm expecting them to beat them next time they play them. It's a bit of a tricky schedule, but all of the teams that we're playing, these are teams that we regularly beat up on, with the exception of Michigan. And I tell you what, if Ryan Day loses to a team that can't complete a forward pass, Like if he loses to Michigan this year, as trash as Michigan is this year, we can talk about letting this man go. There's no excuse for losing to Michigan this year. I'm not gonna second guess this thought. I'm not gonna try to go like, well, he is. Nah, man. You can't lose to Michigan, especially when they don't have a quarterback, especially when all they're going to do is basically look like Army/Navy. If it works for you, it works for you. But Michigan has way too much of a good skill set with their players to be looking like Army and Navy. I'm not gonna lie. And they the ops. So if I'm saying that it's true. They way too good at tight end. They're way too good defensively to be looking like Army and Navy. Like, come on, man. And people are not gonna respect this take, but Harbaugh left them in a real messed up spot by not getting that quarterback position shored up. They were supposed to go out and they were supposed to get somebody in the transfer portal because this team is a little bit too good to not have a good quarterback. I'm just saying. Imagine Kyle McCord playing for Michigan. I know it make you want to throw up. But if he played for Michigan, they'd be top five. No lie. And then again, they secondary looking kind of shaky. So I don't know. If you wonder why I'm talking about Michigan so much, you always study the ops. That's what you do. You make sure you look at the ops and you know exactly what's going on. Nah, man, but for real, man. Shout out to my homies that's Michigan fans. As always, that's the only bad thing about you. Other than that, you my homies. I rock with you. But dude, stop being Michigan fans. That's crazy. Looking forward to that matchup. 100%. So, what your boy been doing around here? What has LP been up to? In the trenches teaching, man, fifth and sixth grade classes, getting my math and social studies on. Like I told y'all earlier in the year, we only doing 4-day weeks at my school, and it's been like that all year. It's been great. The amount of planning that you can get done on a Monday when you don't have kids there to set you up for the entire week, man, it is an absolute blessing. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is great. And I be hearing people hating on it like, well, you wasting a full day. No, sir. The fact that you can get so much stuff done that you can't get done in a normal week, it actually helps you get a little bit further with your teaching because I can map everything out. And it's really unrealistic for people to think that you can do this on like a Saturday night or a Sunday night because it always leaves you behind the eight ball. Like, normally I always feel like I'm a couple of days behind. I always got to copy stuff. I always got to plan stuff. I always got to get my lesson plans in. I always got to call parents. And I feel like no matter what I do, I'm always a couple steps back. I have not felt like that this year because I have an entire day to get all that stuff done. Now, granted, we have meetings and whatnot, on that Monday. We have our PDs and we have our stuff like that, collaborate about the data and whatnot. But you have so much time to get stuff done. And the buy-in from the community has been amazing. The school is making sure that the kids can actually get in the school if parents need to drop them off. They have like things set up where they can be, you know, in school doing certain things while the parents are at work, which is excellent. Now, here's what I've been doing though. Like, I've been on YouTube. You're going to think I'm weird, but I've been on YouTube watching videos where teachers freak out on kids when they just start yelling at the entire class. You will not shame me. You will not shame me, Cincy Fan Talkin Squadron. You will not. Like, I was doing this last year, and it kind of was like a goof at first. I'm like, oh, look at this teacher losing it. Dude, what's wrong with you? Yeah, these kids bad. And then the more I started watching this stuff, the more I won't say I became fascinated by it, but it's more like one of those things where I was watching it and I'm like, you know what? If that teacher was really paying attention, he or she could have ended that a long time ago. Because here's the thing, y'all, and I know you remember this from being a kid. I'm not going to lie. As great as my school was, as great as Walnut Hills High School was, that seventh grade year for us was rough because we were seventh graders. We didn't get where we were. We didn't get how great the school was. Our parents made us go there and we didn't want to. We wanted to go to our regular neighborhood school, that whole thing. And we had this thing we would do where we would kind of make the teacher freak out on purpose just to see what he or she would do. And if they lose it, that kind of made our day. We kind of sit back and go, hey, look at her. Why she all red? It's crazy. Look, she getting mad. She about to yell. We would do that. We were jerks as kids. Now, at the end of seventh grade year, we realized, dang, this school gonna kick us out if we don't get it together. And the people that cared got it together, and the ones that didn't. That's kind of how the school went. I kind of took that with me in my teaching. And when watching those videos, I realized nothing has changed. Now, I took debate my first couple years in school. And plus I was like the building stuff, so it was already awful for your boy. And I would get mad at the kids. I'd be like, you are not doing that in this class. You are not about to do me like that. Luckily, this was way before cell phones. So, and I was never like belligerent, cussing at kids, and I would never do that. That's insane. But I would be getting upset and getting loud, thinking I was running the classroom, not realizing that me yelling at these kids is really showing that I have no power. Like, think about all the times where you yelled or you lost control and you just start going off on people. Was it because you had more power, or is it because you felt like you didn't have control over the situation? Bingo, the answer is B. And when I started looking back, I started realizing, like, yo, every time I yell, it's because I'm not getting my way and I'm freaking out instead of figuring out the situation. The second I realized that, y'all, I became a better teacher. Now, it didn't get perfect for my class for a while longer, but at least I realized the core tenet of classroom management, which is this. The second you start yelling in your classroom, you just lost control of your classroom. As soon as you start, hey, I run this class. No, you don't. And I'm going to make the decision. No, you're not. Because you're losing control. Like that scene in Training Day where my man Ethan Hawke said he got the joke about the tomato and all of that. Or about the bug or whatever. And he was telling dude, like, it's all about smiles and cries. Like, we have our emotions and that's all we can control. He told him that. And Denzel and my man looking at each other like, dang. That's one of the truest things I ever heard, y'all. Like, for real talk. He who can control his emotions can control a lot of things in life. Because that's really all you got. There's very little, and trust me, fortunately and unfortunately in my life, I have learned that you don't have control over a lot. Damn near nothing is in your control. We make allusions to like we can control things, but people always say, you want to make God laugh? Tell him your plans. You'll get a good little chuckle out of that. We don't have control over much, y'all. But we can control how we react to things. We really can. It's funny, I hear people always saying stuff like, he made me do it. Now, he made me react like that. You sure about that? If I can make you act however I want you to act, I'd be a pretty strong dude. We don't really have it like that. So I'm watching these teachers freak out, and I'm looking and I'm understanding, like, they're making real small mistakes that they don't see. It'll be sometimes where the teachers are like just spazzing out on the kids, just yelling. You're not going to do that. You'll never do that in my class. I wish you would. And at some point, the kid will just stop. They're yelling back and forth, and then the kid will just stop. Will literally just stop saying anything. And I'm like, boom, right there. The kid is tapped out. This is the teacher's path on just kind of going like, you know what? That's my off ramp. I can get off and end this whole thing right here. The energy from the kid is gone. You can go back, breathe, go back to doing what you was doing, catch that kid later and go like, hey, why do we have that whole thing? You did some messed up stuff, young person, but you know what? I ain't have to come at you like that either. So what can we do to make sure that don't happen again? And notice I'm saying we, because I messed up just like you did. I'm not gonna lie to you. I shouldn't have came at you like that. You had no choice but to come at me like that because of the way I came at you. So what we gonna do? How we gonna fix this? Cause you ain't gonna make it in this class like this. I'm not gonna make it in this class like this. So what we gonna do? Oh no, like I've literally had a conversation with a kid like that, and then the kid came at me like a week later, like, hey, I appreciate that because man, I was about to go off. I'm like, yeah, me too. And it was a cool year with me and that kid. A lot of teachers feel like they gotta swell up and they gotta go off on somebody. No, you don't, teacher. If you listening to this and you know you ain't been in that teaching game for a while, let me put you up on something real quick. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Let me put you up on something real quick. Your classroom management strategy will not be found by reading a book. It will not be found by going online and searching for some person that has this great strategy that they figured out. It won't be from any of that. It'll be from you figuring out what you can tolerate in your class and what you can't, and you religiously figuring out how to make that work with how you are as a person. I came into the teaching game like they're not gonna do this, they're not gonna do that. And then I realized after a while, like, I don't care if they're talking in class. Are they finishing the work? My class doesn't have to be quiet. Are you doing what you're supposed to do? Are you disturbing others? Are you focused? If you give me those three things, I don't care if you're talking to your friend. Don't cuss while you talking to your friend. But I don't care if you're talking to your friends. I don't care if you stop for a second and get up and stretch. I really don't care. I'm about results. When I realized that, I stopped trying to be like other teachers. I'm like, I don't really need to do all of that. I know what I can tolerate in my class, and I know what I can't. You can't be in my class making TikToks. No, I'm not about to watch you just hit your dances. We're not doing that. I don't care what you hear in other classrooms or at home. You can't cuss in my class. I don't cuss in here. Mr. Parker, you probably cuss at home. We're not at home. We're at school. We don't cuss in here. Do that somewhere else. Once I figured out what I'm comfortable with, I was good. And my classroom doesn't look like other classrooms, and I'm good with that. But it worked for me. So I would encourage you strongly to just kind of figure out what you're okay with and what you're not okay with and structure everything from there. Don't let me catch you, my loyal listener. Don't let me catch you on YouTube when I'm watching these and you spazzing out. Man, I'm looking at teachers cussing at kids. They walking up on them threateningly like that. They using words where I'm like, you really talk to kids like that? Well, no, these kids are, nah, they still kids. They want to be treated like kids. They may act like grown-ups. They may try to think they're doing grown-up things. They want to be treated like kids, y'all. They really do. And they appreciate it. So you got to come at them like that. I really have been like watching that stuff on YouTube. It's instructional. Like, not just watching people mess up though. It's like you can see things that you used to do and you can go like, I used to do that dumb stuff too. So it's not like you're picking on people. It's like it's more instructional. I would encourage you, like, if you have a job where you interact with people and stuff like that, just kind of watch where it goes wrong. And then you can figure out, oh yeah, I don't need to get into the power struggle with somebody. Like, I'll tell a kid, quick, you got it. Yeah. Well, I don't care. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You good. They hate that. They really do. It's funny because it's like, you're not arguing. I don't have time to be arguing with little kids. That's insane. I got way too much to do. But little Duval say, I ain't going back and forth with you, student. Yeah, we'll edit that. We'll say student. We'll have to say the other word. Hey, before I go, man, big boo to BET. Big, huge boo to BET. Man, I don't understand how BET could fumble the hip hop awards the way that they did. Like, this is the biggest fumble as far as fumbles go for BET for me, because this is something that BET built from the ground up. Like the hip hop culture, like the music videos and stuff like that, that is BET to the core. And for me, it's really messed up because the hip hop awards, that's something I used to look forward to every year. You got the ciphers, and that's like the essence of hip hop, y'all. That's like you got people in the circle and they not even battling. They like, look, these my bars. I got bars. You go next. Yeah, you got style. You got flow. And it was cool because you get to see people that you don't normally see. Like it's people I never even heard of until I saw the BET Hip Hop Awards. Like Two Chains, I didn't even know who Two Chains was. Like I knew him from like his old group Player Circle. I saw him on a cipher on the BET Hip Hop Awards with Buster Rhymes and Ludacris. I'm like, yo, he got flow. Like, and I know people see him now, they see the gimmicks and stuff, but like he can really rap. Like I've seen so many really good rappers, and I saw him first on the BET Hip Hop Awards, and it was really cool to see like Toby and Guigwe and people like that, really good spitters. And now it's like, man, they had the Hip Hop Awards in like a club in Vegas, and they were trying to say, that's the essence of hip hop and stuff like that. Nah, that ain't it. They gave away zero awards, no awards. Kendrick Lamar won 8 BET Hip Hop Awards. Fat Joe just gave him out like shout out to so and so. Nobody stood up to pick up an award. Well, I'm like, what are we doing? It. The wife said it felt like the show was done during COVID. As hilarious as that was, it felt right. That's what it felt like. It felt like I was watching the BET Hip Hop Awards in 2020 when COVID was prevalent in America. That's what it felt like. It was just a big letdown, and this is from a TV station that gave us Video Soul. They gave us Midnight Moves. They gave us Rap City. They gave us Video Vibrations. They gave us Caribbean Rhythms. Like, they gave us shows to where we as people could congregate and watch music. And it was cool. And it feels like now all they show is like Family Matters and Martin and Tyler Perry and Tyler Perry and Tyler Perry and Martin and Tyler Perry. Like, so much Tyler Perry, y'all. I can't hate on Tyler Perry's grind, but it's his network. Like the BET is basically TPT. And it's just frustrating to see them butcher something that was so cool. Like some of the seminal moments in hip hop came from the BET Awards, and I was just like, blah. And I'm still disappointed they did not give MC Hammer a hip hop award for being a legend. E40 performed, and E40 should have. I gotta say this before I tip on out of here, man. People like E40, people like Too Short, these are real live legends of hip hop. Man, think about how hard it was to go gold in the 90s, independent. That's what E40 did. Like that's what Too Short did. They selling CDs and they selling tapes just in a city, and they found a way to get like a deal and go basically independent. But that's hustle, that's grind. That's basically what people do with going viral now. That should be commended, man, for real, because people like that, they paved the way for what we see in hip hop today. That entrepreneurial spirit that a lot of folks had to have if you didn't live in New York or LA. Like people from Memphis blew up and they did that on their own. People from the Bay Area, people from Houston, people from Cleveland, like Bone Thugs and Harmony, like they really grinded to get to where they are. And I really think it should be celebrated a lot more. Not just in hip hop, but like musically, period, because that's really hard to do. But I'm gonna say that for another day, and we're gonna go ahead and tip on out of here. Um, if you gambling, gamble responsibly, y'all. I'm really seeing a lot of people online like losing their shirt and losing their shorts because they putting way too much into these teams and it don't work out. It's not gonna work out. It's not. Those parlays people hit, those like $1 million parlays. Hey, follow my man Kurt over at $5 bets, man. Follow him at Core Extra. They'll get you as right as you can get. They're really good at getting you like bang for your buck. I should actually follow them instead of trying to do my own thing. I'm only putting up like $5, $10, losing that. It's really depressing to be watching like Vanderbilt and Kentucky and hoping for the over. Like I really feel like degenerate out here. Hey, shout out to my man Jared. No disrespect to your Wildcats, homie. You know we love the Wildcats up here in the Natty. It's just that I was watching like a fiend, like who scored, who scored. I'm like, dang, I'm rooting for Vandy to score. I'm a little down bad for $5. Like it was wild, man. Just bet responsibly. You know that little print they show on the bottom of the screen. That's real stuff, man. Like I put $20 into MGM. They not getting more from me. Once I lose that, it's a wrap. I'm done. Hey man, y'all stay safe out there, man. It is good to be back doing this again. Keep me consistent, y'all. Hit me up on the Twitter. Let me know, man, where you drop. You supposed to be dropping on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, LP. Where you at? So keep your boy consistent. We gonna go ahead and bump this music. And we up out of here. As always, life is good. Hey, where my cheering section? Dude, let's go. Yeah, I need that. Hey, if you a band and you looking for a boy to have a little cheering section, get at me. Life is good, y'all. Peace out.